All right, guys, it's Sinister Ruler here, and the title did not deceive you. This is a Lee May guide from the original Lee May himself, since the beta, but I just wanted to talk about my book that I've been writing really quickly. Oh, and in the background, these are all Ghostface infinites. So, fun fact, he has so many infinites. Yeah, NRS, please patch this. But yeah, so I've been writing a book. It's a sci-fi book, and I am currently in the phase now where I'm looking for beta readers. If you don't know what a beta reader is, you can just imagine the MK11 or MK1 beta where we were trying to find out anything that might need adjustments. Like we found the Katana Infinite, the Lee May Infinite. We patched those out, just things that make the player experience better when the actual official game releases. So this is the same thing, but just in book form. So I'm looking for any inconsistencies, things that might not be clear, things that are just like uninteresting. And I'm just looking for people who'd be willing to read the book, give me feedback, and I'll give you a time frame, like a more specific timeline later. But this will likely be going on sometime this month, assuming that it is December, because I'm recording this in November. But this will be happening at some point during December, if not maybe early January, and we might be wrapping it up by late January. So if you're interested, I'll leave a comment underneath the video. You can reply underneath that comment saying that you're interested, and I'll give you more information. So that's it.
All right, let's get this guide started. So first, we're going to talk about the full screen game plan, and then we'll make our way in. So that's how I'm structuring the guide. So from full screen, game plan is simple. Yeah, you're just going to be chucking Nova Blast at the opponent. They are probably going to be ducking. That's fine, because this entire time, you know what's happening? 17 of these, and you've made a bar. Yes, I've counted. So yeah, it's fine if they're just sitting there. If you have the life lead, you can do this all day. 15, 16, 17. It's 17 Nova Blast, and you've built a bar. So that's how I artificially generate meter if I have the life lead and they refuse to come here. Because they're scared of Lee May. People are scared of Lee May because this character hurts, and her pressure is pretty scary. So what you really want to do is, if you have the life lead, just sit back and throw Nova Blast. And if you need to make your approach, well, you have this Mavado pool. And other than that, just keep throwing Nova Blast, because this is a fast projectile, and people will get hit because of how fast it is. Like, it's kind of like the Liu Kang effect from MK11. If you remember, he didn't really have that much neutral. Like, his neutral was just high fireball and low fireball. You don't have a low fireball, you just have this. So you just need to, slowly make your approach, and, just use this projectile as your ticket in. Now, that is easier said than done, because you don't really have long-range normals like everybody else does. That's your check. When you get in, this is what you're going to be using to check people. Because that down 4, once you actually do land it, I need to put them on. It jails in the stand 1, jails in the stand 4. It basically guarantees a back 2. Alright, so your full screen game plan is pretty simple. Like I said, you're just throwing projectiles. You can also throw out the occasional lantern, especially if you're playing somebody like Natara that loves to be in the air. And then you can ignite it at any moment. So that's a thing. But really, your goal is to get here. That's where you want to be. Your Lee May, you don't want to be way back here. Because what are you going to do? You have 2 moves that will hit them from all the way back there, and one of them's not even yours. So, yeah, you want to be here. But how do you get there? Well, if throwing Nova Blast is not proving to be effective, then what you want to do is just walk them down. Walk them down. You don't have to rush. Because I see a lot of Lee May players just live and die by chain reaction. Chain reaction is not going to save you because, well, it's slow, it has slow travel time, and it's death on blocks. So that's just a recipe for disaster. And I would say a good rule of thumb is just do it once, see if it works, and then don't do it again. Because just because it did or didn't work the first time, that doesn't mean anything's going to be different the second time. So, and like even if they got hit the first time, it's slow. Like I said, it's slow and it has slow travel time. So they're probably just going to react to it the second time and then you're going to get punished and it's never going to work again. So do not just live and die by chain reaction. It is minus 19 on block. So you're dead. And really just walk them down because your walk speed is so surprisingly good that this is a good way of just closing the distance. And then once you're in, down 4. In fact, you don't even need to like block dash and all this stuff. Like it's good for like just closing, or not closing the distance, getting some distance because like if you need to reset neutral, then your block dash, look how good your block dash is. I just did 1 and I'm all the way back here. So like her block dash is good for like immediately closing the distance or getting away, but for just mobility purposes, like just walk. You have a good walk speed. So that's how you get in. Now once you're in, let me set them to stand. This is your main pressure string. Get to know this well. This is your best friend. So what makes the string so good is the fact that the tempo of the stagger is the same as the tempo of the normal string. And what I mean by that is just listen. All right, you hear that beat, right? Now I'm just gonna throw a random 1, 2, 4 in there. So the tempo, just listen to the rhythm of that and you'll see it basically comes out on the same frame. Like you can't really tell the difference between 1, 2 and 1, 2, 4. Or sorry, 1, 2 and another 1, 2 and 1, 2, 4. You can't really tell the difference because they're about the same speed. They're almost exactly the same speed. So that's what makes the stagger so effective. And even from 1, 2, you have 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2 grab, 1, 2 sweep, 1, 2 backdash, anything, and then whiff punish it. 1, 2 bait armor because there's an armor gap in 1, 2, 4, so you can bait that, and 1, 2, 4. And even from 1, 2, 4, you have 1, 2, 4 EX projectile, 1, 2, 4 back cameo, and now you're plus 8, so it's still your turn. And that jails after 1, 2, 4. So like, yeah, you have a lot of options from 1, 2, 4, and I would just say mix it up. You even have stand 1 stagger, which I didn't even talk about. Stand 1 is also plus 2. This is plus 2. From certain ranges, even that is plus 2. I don't know why I can't make it plus 2, but I think maybe if he was ducking. Okay, it's plus 1 from there. But yeah, you can even make that plus 2 from certain ranges. And yeah, so that's basically your main pressure tool. Mix up your options. And don't be afraid to grab them. You need to be, you know, willing to grab your opponent if you play Lee May. That's just part of her game plan. You're not really going to have strong offense if you're not, like, willing to go for the grab. That's your main way of opening people up. That and, I guess, cartwheel, but we can get into cartwheel later. Cartwheel is, like, more risky. Actually, they're both pretty risky, but this one takes a bar and it gets easily, and I mean easily, anti-air. Don't ask me why. It's an aerial special move. They still haven't made it like low crush or anything, but that's why I don't really go for cartwheel like that, because they can just mash and you've wasted a bar. You're airborne now, meaning you can get comboed. And yeah, I don't like going for cartwheel that much. And until they fix it to low crush, then yeah, I'm not really going to be using cartwheel all too much. You also have back 3, which is what you use on knockdown. So if you ever like hit them with something that's plus 12 or more. This is plus 14. Then you meaty with back 3, because back 3 is safe even if they delay wake up. And you might actually be able to backdash if they do that. But regardless, you're safe right here. So back 3 is your best meaty. You can also do this, which will catch delayed wake up or not delayed wake up, which is good. But it's better if you do this, I would say, because you're plus if they do block it, and you're minus if they block back 2-1. So I wouldn't go for this string. I haven't gone for this string in like weeks, and the reason for that is it's just not worth it. You're plus 7, but back 3 was already plus 3, so like you're not getting anything more except maybe a guaranteed back 2. But like they're probably gonna block it anyway, because if they did actually block this string, no one's gonna like disrespect this. Like once they do block this, it's plus 7, so the odds of them actually deciding I'm gonna press right here are really low unless they don't know the matchup. And I guess if they did block this string, they probably don't know the matchup, but most people by now know that there's a 10 frame gap in this string, and it's an easy, like, I'm gonna prove to you how easy it is because I'm not even gonna see the string and I'm gonna know when to interrupt it with an 8 frame jab. Bro, this is so weird. Okay, fine. I'm gonna do it the proper way. So yeah, that's a thing. That's why I don't really use that string, because people are just gonna mash after it no matter what, which is why backdashing after back 3 is so effective, because people love to mash after it and they'll just get blown up for it. So that's back 3 in a nutshell. Gonna get him to block. You also have back 2. Back 2 is not your mid check, contrary to what you might think, but it is good for your like whiff punishing, because once you backdash, your main mid check, which is actually your sweep, will not hit from there. But back 2 will. So you can see like the main difference. This is what you're gonna use to check people like after a -5 string, or basically after like things that are -4, -5, -6. You're going to be using this. If it's -7, just punish it, or if you don't have bar, you can like jail them with 1-2. And if you need to backdash and whiff punish something, back 2 is for that. And you can pretty much confirm to see whether or not they whiffed a button. So to prove that, that's weird. And I'm going to put them on hidden random. Okay, I don't know why he's still doing that. Okay, I can't show you the other option if you okay. Okay, so you can see there, like, it's pretty consistent once you get the rhythm down, once you get the hang of it. And you can do that with pretty much any string, but yeah, that's weird. I don't know why he kept doing the same thing over and over again, but yeah, random is not random in this game. But that's your back 2. Your stand 4 is +3. I don't really use that too often because this is weird spacing for +3. But like you don't even get a sweep because the spacing is so weird. Like this is basically reset to neutral right here. Like look at this spacing. This is the same spacing as 4-3-4. Like look at that. That's the same spacing, and like that's clearly intended to be a neutral reset, but this is just like a regular normal, and it also resets neutral. So I don't really use that +3 too often, but it's there. But like I showed, this is a +3 neutral reset unless you're in the corner, and then this is just like a legit +3 like back 3 is. So you get sweep, grab, backdash. You know, same stuff as back 3. You get off of that. So it's good for that in the corner. And from mid screen, it's just a neutral reset. But people for some reason like to armor after 4-3. And I don't know why, because this is gapless and this is a high, but they do it. So just letting you know, I'm just the messenger. So if you do get away with this string, then you can also like try and down 4 check, or you can just like get out of there. So that's up to you. 4-3 is a decent stagger. I don't know why it didn't come out. Okay, that was weird. It took me like 3 tries to get my grab to come out, but yeah, so that's a decent stagger by itself. So she has some pretty good staggers. Obviously, this is your best stagger right here. And speaking of this string, I don't really use that string all too much because the mind game is just not in your favor most of the time. So basically, right, what I think they were going for is, okay, this is +6 with a huge gap, but if they try and poke you out of it, punish, and if they like interrupt it, you micro duck. But like, why would you do that all for +6? You know what I mean? Like, is this really worth it? No. Like, you shouldn't be risking your life for plus frames because plus frames don't really guarantee you anything anyway. Now, if this were +8, okay, +8, that's a pretty good reward because +8 jails a stand 1, but her highest plus frame is +7. And this +7 is even riskier than this +6. So, yeah, just honestly not worth it, but if you want to use 2-1, you can. You can use it. It is there, so if you want to use it, you can. But I think that's all of her notable strings, except for forward 4. Okay, so yeah, forward 4, like I said before, I think I said, this is your longest range normal, other than forward 3. And you're gonna have to just be careful when you're backdashing into it, because if you backdash into it too quickly, keep in mind, I am on short input window timing, and yeah, that'll happen if you do that like too quickly. So don't like rush when you're backdashing into forward 4. In fact, just don't backdash into forward 4. If you're gonna backdash into something, just backdash back 2, because there is no back 2 special move, but there is a back forward 4. So that's what you backdash into. And if you're like forward dashing, so yeah, you forward dash into this or this, but you only backdash into this, if that makes sense. So off of this is your just normal check string. This is your like main meterless combo tool, but you also have back 2-4 for that. So don't just throw this out in neutral. Don't do that. Unless there's very few circumstances in which it's okay to throw out like a YOLO forward 4-3, but like that's a very specific niche thing. Like the time's about to run out, you've been doing a lot of cartwheels, and then you don't have any meter and you need to like throw out a low or something like that. Like the string has purposes, or like a parry. You see somebody do a parry, and so yeah, there are purposes, but just you don't really use this string all too often. Like I might use this once every 15 games, if that, because like back 2-4 does the same thing, and it's like way safer. But yeah, so that is your that's all of your strings. Now we can, I guess, go into B&Bs. Yeah. Oh, well, I guess we could talk about the corner first. Nothing really changes in the corner except for forward 3. Forward 3 is neutral. It's also neutral for mid screen, but right here, this neutral is like way different because it doesn't actually reset neutral. This neutral is not 0, okay? This neutral is like +2 for you. I know it's not actually +2, but like you can think of it being like +2 because you have an advantage here. So while you do recover at the exact same time, you and your opponent that is, you have the privilege of being able to backdash and whip punish them, and you also have the privilege of having a 7-frame reversal. So if they do decide, I'm gonna poke you right here, they die. So you're basically at an advantage here. Like, people are so scared when they block forward 3 that you might be able to get away with like throwing, because this neutral is in your favor. So yeah, you can do stuff like that. You can even like 1-2, because this neutral, in fact, people don't even know what it is on block when they block it, because this can be anywhere from 0 to plus, well, 6. I can make it plus 6 if I do it like a little bit further out, but that was plus 5. So this is usually plus anyway, but even if it's not plus, it's still plus. Because you just have so many more options than they do. So that's your forward 3. Your forward 3 is also a launcher. And I guess while we're here and while I'm doing combos, I can just go over the combos. So all right, so right now I'm ending my combos in cartwheel just to show you that, like, that's how you get the most damage. Like, that's technically optimal, but realistically speaking, you're gonna end all of your combos either in... Okay, I don't even know why I did that. In jump 1, 2, 1, or in down back 3. Down back 3 becomes a safe jump. I'm gonna set him to armor if I can find it. Yeah. So after lantern, this just straight up becomes a safe jump. And that is like the safest of safe jumps. Like jump 2 1 2 1 is relatively safe, because slower armors like Homelanders will definitely get beat, but it might trade with like 14 or 13 frame armors. Down back 3 will beat everybody's armor if you time it right. So that is what you want to go for if you just need to make sure that the safe jump is actually a safe jump. And then jump 2 1 2 1 has weird gravity scaling sometimes, and then it becomes like less of a safe jump. That will never happen with down back 3. So down back 3 is like your safest safe jump. But yeah, I guess now we can go over all of the combo routes starting from mid-screen. So this is stand 4. Mid-screen, you can just go for cartwheel because your safe jump isn't really as effective mid-screen. Like the angle of your jump is weird and stuff, and when you do a forward safe jump, it's like not as safe. So yeah, just end your combo in cartwheel or chain reaction for corner carry, but just stick to regular combo enders for mid-screen. And then once you're in the corner, you can just go for all your safe jump stuff. Also off of stand 4, or just like any route in general that ends in a lantern, you can set up a third lantern. Okay. That's not really the purpose of that, and I'm gonna turn this off. The purpose is... I don't know why I did that. That's the purpose. So basically, right, you get a free 50-50. Like, it's just a free 50-50. That's what it is. Because when you're in this situation of lantern like floating in front of you, now you have to guess low, or like you saw, overhead. And both of those will lead to a total of like a 70% setup. Because if you do the math, this combo right here, 38, 35. That's like 71. No, 70, 73. I cannot do math. Yeah, that was 73. And yeah, that's your set play for the most part. So you can like at any point during a combo, stop it short, do a third lantern, and then use that lantern for an overhead low mix-up. And that'll get you like 70% setups like you just saw. All right, but now I guess I can show the B&Bs off of everything else. So that's the B&B off of 1, 2, 4. But if you're punishing something, like that's only what you go for if like you are staggering and they get hit by the last hit. What you want to do if you're just punishing with stand 1 is just pretend that you're landing 4, 3, 1, 2 instead. Because that actually does more damage. Just do it's counterintuitive, but the route off of 1, 2 does more than the route off of 1, 2, 4. So if you're punishing something, then just go for 1, 2. But if you're like hitting someone with the last hit of 1, 2, 4, which will happen a lot if you're like staggering. Okay, I don't know why he still blocked that last hit, but you can imagine like you're blocking, or they're blocking, and then they get hit by the last hit of 1, 2, 4. That's what you would go for in that situation. What else? There's back 2, 4. This right here is not optimal, but actually there's another route. I'm not sure if it works. I'm gonna go try it right now. Okay, that doesn't work. I don't think. Yeah, okay. So the route that I just tried, like with the double back 2, does not work, but like the combo with back 3 into 2, 1 is easy, and that's why I go for it. There are other routes. So like 37 meterless, no cameo. That's obviously like the better route to go for because it only does 1% less and you didn't spend any resources, but it's good luck, you know, like just good luck with that. Like I promise you, it is not as easy as I'm making it look. There's also this route, but you sacrifice a lot of damage if you go for that route. So it's just better to either risk it for the higher damage or just go for the easy route instead of like bailing out with stand 3. Because you might even drop stand 3, and stand 3 doesn't even do that much damage. So yeah, you're better off going for the back 3 route that I showed first, or the double lantern that I showed afterwards. And then I'm not really gonna go over forward 4-3 because the routes are basically the same. And the double lantern on forward 4-3 is a lot easier than back 2-4. But yeah, that's basically what you're gonna go for if you do happen to land a forward 4-3, which you don't when you're playing this team, like I said, for the most part. You're either gonna land this or like some other punish string, but you're not really gonna be using this. And yeah, I'm not gonna go over B&Bs for that. There's also cartwheel. Wow. So cartwheel, you want to be careful with it because if you do it from higher up, this is so reactable. Like you're never gonna catch somebody slipping with this. Like the higher you jump, the more reactable it is. Because this is a huge tell. This is like, I'm going to do a cartwheel. Like that's what this is. You don't want to give them time to react. You just want to, wow, I cannot do cartwheel because I'm recording this video. Anyway, you just want to do it. Because the lower to the ground you do it, the faster it is. It is 16 frames with the fastest possible timing. You want to get this time to as close to 16 as possible. Like A 20 frame cartwheel is reactable. A 19 frame cartwheel, maybe. 18, maybe. 17 is not reactable. So, like, if you're Sonic, you might react to an 18 frame overhead just because there's a tell in you jumping beforehand. Even if you're Sonic, even if you're Ninja, you're not reacting to a 17 frame overhead just in general, especially not online, maybe offline. Offline, I can react to everything, but yeah, online, good luck. But yeah, so that is your B&B off a cartwheel. You want to make sure you're doing up cameo like later. You want to do it as late as possible without it dropping. So you just need to find the sweet spot and then you'll get that like every time. Off of your 7 frame reversal, I was about to do the old combo. The combo actually did get like changed when 124 got buffed because this now forward advances, making her mid-screen combos like better. So that is your B&B off of that. Well, I guess off of raw knee, if you do happen to land raw knee, that's your B&B off of that. Like I said, 1 per game. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Don't do it again. Just don't do it again. Yeah, that's all of your mid-screen B&Bs. In the corner, wow. So like slight walk back into safe jump. And see right there, because that's only plus 36, it's better if you do down back 3 instead. Wow. Because that is plus 42, so that's way safer. So that's your 124 B&B. Once again, another slight walk back. Another plus 42 safe jump. What else? Back to 4. This one you can stop after the 124 chain reaction, or that's another safe jump. That's plus 54. So it's so plus that you might have to wait a little bit, walk forward, and then do your safe jump. And even there, you can see it whiff. Wow. So yeah, that's another safe jump you can go for. Then there's 4-3 like I showed earlier. Cartwheel, same thing. And then your 7 frame reversal. And then meterless B&Bs. This is a like tight link. You can also just omit the Nova Blast and go straight into chain reaction. And that one's plus 44, meaning that it's so plus that you might have to wait before you jump in. And then there's this. You can see all of these basically look exactly the same. Like you might do a back 3 here instead of a stay in 2, or you might do, that's basically it. Like these all look the same for the most part. Throw combos. We can talk about throw combos. So if you are pretending that we're mid-screen and this other side that they're about to be on is also mid-screen, like pretend that we're not anywhere near the corner. This is what you would go for mid-screen. $22. All right, simple. 22%. For a bar, you can get 26. I never miss that. I never miss that. When you're recording a YouTube video, you mess up everything. So yeah, 26 from that, and then if you are in the corner, or back to the corner that is, you can walk, lantern, and then dash again, and then, wow. So you wake up, you dash. Okay, we can do this. We can do this. You've been playing Lee May for 15 months. You got this. You can do this. Come on. Jesus. You know what? All right, lock in, lock in, lock in, lock in. All right, I did it. So that's your route. You dash, lantern, then you dash again, forward four and a Nova Blast, and then another lantern, and then your safe jump. So I just, for some reason, I could not commentate and do that simple, easy combo that I've been doing for months at the same time. So those are your throw combos. And yeah, I'm pretty sure that's it. We could go over one more thing, I guess. Oh, whoops. How do I... Yeah, you just... Off of Lantern, because Lantern can hit at any time, and there's no telling, like, where you are on screen, or how late you get hit by Lantern, or, like, where you are in recovery. I would say just freestyle, for the most part. You can just freestyle with Lantern and see what route works. So yeah, Lantern is kind of weird in that way, in that you could be full screen and they just jump into it, and then you have less time to react. You could be up close and they like do their armored wake up or something, and then it like just hits them, or you know, there's so many situations with Lantern hitting someone that it's impossible to have like a concrete this is what you do in this situation. But like just freestyle, and you'll be surprised with what you can come up with. Like I've just learned new combo routes just from like random lanterns hitting people. So like, you know, it's just see what works. Like I'm making these up as I go. Like I don't have an official Lantern optimal, because Lantern combos, it's just whatever works, you know, whatever gets you the most damage or whatever feels right in the moment. So that's basically the guide. So what we talked about how to approach from full screen. You have Mavado pull, you got Nova Blast. If you need to get in, really just walk. You can walk back and forth, but make sure you're walking forward more than you're walking back so that you actually close the distance. What else? We talked about what to do when you're like inside of jump distance. So harass people with down 4. And then once you hit down 4, you can get your pressure started. And then we talked about what your pressure actually looks like. You know, 1-2, 1-2, maybe backdash back 3, backdash back 2 is your whiff punish. You can check people with your sweep. And then we also talked about how you can confirm whether or not your opponent pressed the button, and then back 2-4 or back 2-1 or just stagger back 2. We talked about how important it is to go for a grab. Just go for a grab sometimes, even if it gets ducked. Go for another grab later. Yeah. Really, that's it. So I hope y'all enjoyed this guide. I hope it was helpful. Maybe send this over to somebody who's trying to learn the character. And yeah, Sinister out.